Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Just Believe podcast. I'm your host, HP Mack, and today I'm excited. I have this wonderful young man who I'm going to interview that I've been following his page ever since the pandemic, and I love the work that he's doing. He made it a place where if you're a guy, check this out. You can share your emotions. It's cool. It's a platform for males. Sometimes as guys we tend to hold our emotions inside, and we want to communicate, we just may not know how to. And I think it's good to go to a place where you can learn how to communicate and learn that, man, I'm going through something. I'm not alone. There's somebody that's going to it. I can reach this person and I can go to this page and, man, my voice does matter. Maybe I can communicate with not only myself, but maybe I can communicate with my spouse. Like, I love it. I love it. I love what these guys are doing. I have my good friend, Simon. How are you doing today, my man?
Thanks, man. Thanks for the intro. I'm doing amazing, dude.
Good,
Happy
good, good.
Friday.
Good. Yes. Thanks for doing this, man. I really do appreciate this. Told you I'm a fan of your page. I love what you're doing. Being a guy, as I said, like it's hard to share emotions. Growing up, we get that a guy's he's strong and he keeps everything inside. And when I saw your page and showing the different side of a male, I was like, yo, that's it. Was that follow button? So go ahead, tell the people about yourself and what you do, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, well, I'm a first of all, don't feel super young, but thanks for calling me a young man. I I run a foundation, an organization, nonprofit organization called the Verity Foundation, which is all about creating healthy masculine leaders. And yeah, in the past 3 years, 3 to 5 years, I've been just really feeding into this calling of using my voice and empowering other men and having men connect to their hearts and speak about what's truly going on for them. Like you said, I found in so many circles, guys are playing it safe with their emotions, with their feelings, what's truly coming out, but then it comes out in like super negative ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what leads to all the shit that we experience in the world is we don't have containers and spaces to really go through our stuff in a healthy way. So it comes out in unhealthy forms.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, yeah. I think when I was going through my depression, right, when I was like really struggling, and I'm pretty much a calm, chill guy. I had this rage, this anger, and it was showing not only like in the house where like nobody's around, but it was showing publicly, right? I'm at work and I'm acting out. I'm going to the gym and I'm acting out, right? I'm sitting here doing these dumbbells and curling like looking at somebody like with intent, and I'm like, man, that's not even me. Who is this guy? And to learn like, okay, there's other ways to express myself of what I'm going through. I think it's fabulous what you're doing.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's been an amazing journey. Again, like you said, I find that working in a circle of men or working with a group of men, as soon as you lead, as soon as you put your heart on the line, guys are like they want to go next. Like we're craving it. We're craving that space to open up.
So what made you decide, hey, let me do this nonprofit organization? Like, what was your, okay, that's enough. Let me put this past life behind and let me move forward with this.
And it was this moment so I'm up in Canada in BC, Vancouver Island. And I was down in the States, I was in California, and I started doing, more personal development work, some men's group work. And I just realized that I knew nothing about like masculinity. I started unraveling for me when I started seeing like, documentaries and started becoming more aware of how we've been affected through conditioning and what our vision and our view of a man looks like. And I remember this one day, I just got home after doing this workshop and I was like, I don't know what it means to be a man. Like, I know what I've seen, but I don't know what it means.
What's the
to be
true
a man.
definition of it? Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody taught me. And I just had this like, wow, what do I get to create? And as soon as I asked myself that, I was like, that just sent me on this path of how can I learn more about masculinity? How can I learn more about like, just like our male viewpoints and what we've been conditioned, and really start dissecting this condition that's caused so much pain in the world? Because I truly believe that those that are most hurt create the most hurt.
Yeah. Hurt people
So,
hurt people.
yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No. No.
So yeah,
No,
that's
get it,
what
get
really
it, get it.
set me off. That was really what set me off. And then that path just started being like more of a self-discovery to see like what type of man do I want to be? What type of a leader do I want to be? And during that discovery process, I started realizing that a lot of men are wanting that, but also not like giving themselves the space to really dive in and explore what it means to be a man. They're attached to this viewpoint or version of themselves that they've been shown.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like inspired to kind of break through that.
Now, how long did it take you to go down this journey? Because I have two questions. I have that, and then I have another follow up that I definitely
Well,
have to ask
I
you.
mean, I'd say it's been a 5-year journey of like discovering what it means to be a man for me, and what type of man and what type of leader I want to be, and like what type of work I want, what type of work I want to do, what's my gift. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably been a 5-year discovery at least.
Okay. Okay. That's good. That's perfect. Because at some point we have to start somewhere. 5 years, I think by then you're like, okay, I got this idea. So now that obviously the follow up question is, what is your definition of a man?
Definition of a man is, for me,
Yeah,
it's taking responsibility for myself, for my family. It's like owning everything that I am, that I've brought to this moment. So taking responsibility.
I love it. Perfect answer. Perfect answer. Because growing up, right? Like, obviously, you get the back of my day speech, a man did all this type of stuff, but it's all about evolving, right? And learning, okay, well,
Mm.
you told me what a man's supposed to do, but I still have no idea what a man does.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
people tell you all the time, hey, you do this and you do that, and that's a man. It's like, okay, but what does a man do? Well, a man
Right.
works and bring home the bacon. It's like, okay, maybe that might work for your situation, but in other situations, sometimes the guy is the stay-at-home father and he keeps everything together. So as you said, it's accountability. Like
Yeah,
I'm
man.
one who I had to learn how to love myself, right? And then hold accountability of myself, right? Okay, let me hold myself accountable on, okay, I know I suck at this, like I suck in this area, but I'm going to work on it a little bit. But if I suck at it, hey, Simon, can you help me out with this? Like let me call somebody else to really help me out and succeed and thrive in the way that I need to. And that's holding yourself accountable and realizing, okay, I don't have to do everything. There's
Man,
other
yeah,
people that I can rely on.
exactly. The challenge is like, how much support can you ask for? Is the new like man challenge for me, because I feel like, again, we were taught by one, maybe none, but one or two men in our lives, especially from a young age, what it means to be a man. And we were like,
Mhm.
that's a man,
Yeah.
that's a man, that's a man.
Yeah.
And traditionally, there's like villages that raise a man, that raise, a child. And we're lacking rites of passage, we're lacking mentorships. There's a huge gap in our society, to prepare, where men or boys are not being prepared into manhood. And I struggled just like you in your story. I went into deep addiction, depression, almost killed myself a few times through crazy accidents on being too drunk or on drugs. And it got to the point where I was like, I needed to take responsibility for my life, or I was going to kill myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that around the word taking responsibility, it lends a bit into this kind of this mentality that men have around just taking on too much, like doing. And what I mean by taking responsibility as a man is like a full compass. Like, are you taking responsibility for your own happiness, for your own growth and self-discovery? Are you taking responsibility for your family, for your own ideas, for your passion for life? Like, because so many men view themselves or value themselves by what they do versus who they could be, or
Yeah.
what they're capable of.
It's
And
that
that
ego,
limits
man.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the ego. Ego's the enemy. By like one of my favorite authors is Ryan Holiday. He wrote the
Yeah.
book and he really breaks down the ego, like especially as a guy. Like we always want to be the best, right? Oh, or we always want to have dominance, right? Like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Like even with sharing my story, I tell you, like the guy was trying to punk me in the sense of, this is my house,
Yeah.
this is what you have to
Yeah.
do type of thing. But realizing like, hey, okay, cool, this is your house, I'm gonna play by your rules, but you got to lose the ego. You can't be great unless you lose the ego, because there's going to be some people that you need that support and understanding your weaknesses and your strength. Like, at this age of my life, I understand what I'm great at and I understand what I suck at. And I understand the people who is great and who's thriving in that area that I suck at. Hey, can you help me out with this? Let me lean on you. Hey, I'm not the best communicator when it comes to my relationship. Can you teach me how to communicate with my wife? Can you teach me how to communicate with my girlfriend so I can be the best version that they need?
Mm.
It's really deep. I'm glad you said that. It's not only just like work, it's just in other areas. And I think as guys and as we evolve with the time, and especially, I hate saying this, but because of the pandemic, right? Like, obviously it's horrible, but it's been a gift and a curse, because the curse is people are dying from it. But the gift is we all been able to slow down and learn, right? Hopefully we can learn about ourselves. Okay, this is what I need to work on. Let me learn how to get better at this. Or maybe I can lean on this person and learn in that way.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And I think that first step is the slowing down and being willing to like look at where you're at, you know? Because especially before the pandemic, even me, I was like so focused on doing and creating that I let a part of myself slip, you know? And I'm like, wait, I'm not keeping up with my health.
Yeah.
And that happens to so many people. And I think that, yeah, taking that time to slow down and really check in and really get curious, but also honest with yourself is huge
Yeah.
in this work.
What was the first thing that you worked on once you realized, okay, Paul, the world is at a stop? let me let me actually work on this area. What was the first thing that you figured, okay, I gotta work
Yeah,
on this, or I need to work on this?
dude, the biggest pain point for me was purpose. Having this idea of like, or pressure about like having to have a clear purpose and know what I was doing here on this planet and be so dedicated that I was giving a gift, like that created so much depression in me, because I was like, I don't know, I haven't received the download, like
Yeah, yeah.
what am I doing? I got all this energy but I can't give it to something, you know? So I really went on a mission of being like, what does purpose mean to me? Like, what is that actually? I create something that's tangible that I can take steps towards and really know who I am?
Yeah,
And where I arrived with that was that I am my purpose.
I like
And
that.
that can never be taken away from me, right? I'm the mountain that needs to be climbed. So it's just a constant like exploration of myself from moment to moment and be like, hey, if I'm my purpose, then like I get to expand and grow and show and find out how much more love I can step into as a man and as a human. And then I'm constantly aware of what my values are and where I can expand in a healthy way. So that's for me, it was my first big mission was find out what your purpose is.
Did you feel like you put too much pressure on yourself trying to find your purpose?
Definitely. I mean, especially up until that point where I was like, I, I'm not useful unless I have purpose, you know? And then I used that as an excuse to not do the things that I actually wanted to do, because I was like, no, I don't have purpose yet. I don't have purpose yet, you know? Waiting for this big, like giant message to come
Yeah,
through when
yeah.
I was all along.
Okay, okay. And not that's crazy. You're the first person that had that perspective, because I think well, that I met, right, that I met that had that perspective, because I always felt like when you look for something, you'll never find it.
Mm-hmm.
I always had that belief, like when you look for it, like for example, like I don't if I look for my keys, I would never find it, right? But the day
Yeah.
when I don't need my keys, I always find them. So like that just taught me to just, okay, well, let me just go with the flow type of thing.
Yeah.
Because previously I thought my purpose was producing beats and being this super duper producer, right? And I'm getting into that, and essentially I'm forcing it, right? And now, we fast forward 4 or 5 years ago, I felt like I found my purpose, not looking for it. It just
Yeah.
naturally came, you know? Yeah, no, but I love it. I love it. It's a great conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big one. In the circles that we're working with, I find a lot of men are either not clear on their purpose, and not just men. A lot of people are not clear on their purpose, or they have a purpose that they've put onto something that they're already doing so that they can justify working super long hours on it, or like uh, they have an attachment to it, like
Hmm.
a career usually, or family could be their purpose. And
Yeah.
I've been trying to challenge that because I feel like where we see a lot of people get lost and dive into depression, etc., is when they make something their purpose that could be taken away.
Yeah.
Like if my purpose is to climb Mount Everest, or if my purpose is even my family, like what happens if that
It's
changes,
gone. Yeah.
or my kids leave, like, and all of a sudden I'm like confused, and then am I in my 60s being like, shit, I didn't create a life for me,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So that's been this kind of pivot that I've made with the whole purpose dialogue and purpose topic, is that if you become your purpose, then it's a constant evolution, a constant growth into who you are and how you can improve in the way that you want to.
Yeah.
It's not based on you're not only valuable if you achieve something or take care of other people.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, that's perfect. Yeah. Yeah. I had to do the same thing. Like, as far as like realizing, let me focus on me, and then everything else is just going to happen. The purpose is going to happen. You know,
Mm,
once I realized, I started focusing, not on me in a selfish way, but focusing on the things that I never addressed. You know,
yeah,
the self-love, the understanding who I am and understanding me. You know, I think it's hard when you're in a relationship. You know, we always attend to the other. Oh, hey, you know, that's my girlfriend. I'm going to show her all the love and affection. And then in the midst of doing that, you lose yourself in it, right?
yeah,
Like, as you said, if I'm in this relationship for 2 3 years and I'm giving her everything that she needs, all the love and affection, and she just wakes up one day and said, you know what, not enough, I'm moving on. You're just sitting there like, I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to do. And some of us, I'm not going to say all of us, but some of us never really focus on us. On the, let's work internally first, and let's learn how to love each other. Let me learn how to love myself, and then I'm going to learn how to share that love. Because if she leaves for whatever reason, I'm gonna still be okay. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
gonna sit down and binge watch something on Netflix, and, you know, be sad and talk about it with my friends for a little bit, but I'm still gonna be okay. Like, I'm not gonna be as brokenhearted as you know, some people think I should be.
yeah, yeah, man. Like that. I don't think it doesn't mean that you don't like give fully with your heart and like show up. It's just that if you don't build that muscle, that like vision for yourself, then no one else is going to take you to your
Yeah,
vision. So
yeah,
I think what's lacking in a lot of areas is this, like, because that's true leadership in my belief, is being like, I want this, I'm creating this, I want that, like I want to enroll people in my life that are close to me, my woman, my kids, my friends, in that vision, so that they like create their own along the way, but they're part of it. And I
yeah,
think a lot of us go like, let me serve you, let me serve you, let me serve you. This feels good because I'm always constantly responding to your reactions or whatever. You know, I'm always serving like and dancing for things rather
mm-hmm,
than being like, no, we're going here.
yeah,
And in relationship, that's tough, man. Like that is the work, to be like, we're going here. Like this is why I want to do that. You know, put your
yeah.
true heart and vision on the line.
Oh, yeah, no, no, definitely agree with that. So now that you found out your purpose, and you realize, okay, this is an area that I think guys don't really understand how to be a man and how to lead, in a sense of, you don't have to show dominance, but you can lead in this way. Uh, what what was that process like? Like, you know, did you, because it's you have a co-finder as well, right?
Yep.
Did you guys just sit down and have a conversation together and just stumbled upon it, or did you come to it and he was like, oh, hey, I want to join you, I love it?
Yeah. So I started a local men's group and just started facilitating. circle of men. I would choose a topic for the weekly discussion, and we'd connect and talk about, whatever came up that call. And then Cameron was part of that, and he was just like, man, I really want to dive into this more. I can feel the impact in my life. And we just sat down and we started the foundation. I was like, what this means is we're committing to being leaders in our community, leaders in our relationship, and leaders in our own life. And he was like, hell yeah.
No, when you meet people like that, it's a blessing. Like, honestly,
Dude.
because when you're starting out, whatever you're doing, right? The hardest part is the beginning, like the hardest part. It can get overwhelming, okay, I'm trying to, not only legally, I'm trying to protect myself, but okay, now I got to make content. Now I got to set up these meetings. Now I got to make sure people are going to show up. I'm holding everyone else accountable, but who is holding me together? So when you have that partner that's like, hell yeah, let's go. And it's like, thank you. Thank you. At least someone can take some of the stress, or at least we can have that conversation of, hey, bro, I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Can you take over this? Because even now, like, I do everything myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
The writing the quotes, the recording, the editing, okay, now I'm getting clients and doing the life coaching thing. Now I got to, hey, how do you do the scheduling thing? Getting used to that, and legally making sure that I'm covered, because, we're living in an era where people want to sue so fast. Hey, you called me ugly, I got to sue, so trying to learn all of this and trying to process all this, it does get overwhelming. So there's some days where I'm like, look, Sunday is my me day. I'm not touching no social media. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to recharge, because it is draining. So to have help I applaud you on that. And it's not someone that you don't know, it's someone that that you can rely on and trust. And that's something that's hard to find, especially nowadays.
Yeah, man. The bounce back of ideas, and also not being in a situation and falling back into the lone wolf sort of thing, of like, I got this constantly. Yeah. It's been a blessing, man. Like, mad props to Cam for holding the energy that he does, and I respect him deeply, because there's times where I'm just like, I don't know what we're doing here, man. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Let's figure this out. And he's like, it's like, okay, man, good, because I don't either. Perfect. Let's start there.
So how long have you guys been doing this now?
We've been doing, well, together just about a year and a half, but okay. We've worked in other businesses together as well. Okay. I run a real estate business, property management company I have as well. So kind of like mixing different things together.
All right. No, that's good. Yeah. So it looks like we have to get ready to go. But before we go, just tell people like how to reach you, how to find you, and what you guys do.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Well, yeah, check us out at the verityfoundation.com. We've got or .org. We've got a website. We offer an online men's leadership program, which is a 3-month program called The Edge, which is badass. We got one running right now. Edge 3.0 starts up this winter, so check that out. We've got one-on-one coaching that I do. I help men find their purpose or become their purpose, as well as get clear on their missions and what they want to achieve in this life. So those are 2 things we do. And we have a podcast that we're kind of taking a back seat on right now called Timeless Talks, where we connect men, intergenerational communities of men. So we interview men of all ages in hopes to bridge the gap between the generations. So we're up to a lot of things, but yeah, join the Facebook group. We have a men's Facebook group called the Verity Men's Group. And we drop tons of value, like Q&A talks, roundtable talks. We drop exercises, challenges, you name it. So if you're looking for community, especially online now in these times, that's the place to be.
Yes. Oh, for sure. And I love it. I'm going to have everything in the description so people can check out. And man, thanks for being on, man. This was awesome. I think, what you and Cameron is doing is amazing. Like, for real. We need more communities where guys can feel like, hey, I'm I'm safe here. I can learn, I can vent, I can do whatever. But at the end of the day, because of these guys and their leaderships and the way they're coaching me up, I'm going to become a better man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for that. And yeah, dude, mad props to you. I see you and I see how you're showing up in this world and spreading the
Thanks,
word,
man.
spreading the message. So,
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. All right. Well, until then, guys, we'll see you next time. This was phenomenal. Peace out.